All praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakak Wadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to the elect of the nation of Israel. This is going to be a lesson on this scripture in Luke chapter 17 and 32, which says, remember Lot's wife, man. And what that scripture is ultimately going into is how Lot's wife looked back and was reminiscing on the previous world that she was leaving when Sodom and Gomorrah was being destroyed, right? And she was, instead of thinking about the world to come that she was going to be walking towards, she was thinking about the world that she was leaving behind, man, right? And in doing that, she got turned into a pillar of salt, man. And the way how people are going to be looking back now in this time is going to be with ultimately, in my opinion, if we go and look at all the scriptures and all the prophecies that are coming, I would say would be with the charagma, man, because the charagma is going to be a method in which people can somewhat try and grab back towards the times in which people are living in now, right? They can grab that charagma and they'll be able to get some kind of security in their mind. They'll think, okay, I've got some security now. And when they take that, for those people that do, instead of being turned into a pillar of salt, they're going to be turned into ash on the ground, man. They're going to be turned into ashes under people's feet, and they're going to be melted, right? This is what's going to happen to everyone that takes the charagma, man. Zechariah chapter 14 and verse 12, and this should be the plague wherewith Yahweh will smite all the people that have fought against Jerusalem. Their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet, and their eyes shall consume away in their holes, and their tongue shall consume away in their mouth, right? And there's going to be a whole bunch of women that are going to be looking back, because these women, right, they've got, even though they complain the most out of everyone, they've got the easiest life. They've got an easier life than children, because they don't have to, the mom, in a lot of cases, is the sole carer for children. So she's telling the children what to do, but then she makes sure that her life has no one around her. If she so chooses, she can make sure that her life's got no one around her where anyone can tell her what to do. And that's one of the main reasons why women love children so much in this society, especially, because they can tell the children what to do, and it's a situation where they can have power, but they can't really ever have power over a man, even though they desire to have it all the time. But they can't really have it, man. They can never really truly have power over the man, because the man physically can always break free from whatever the woman would try and tell him and whatever she would try and think that she's able to enforce on him, man. So it would always be fake. Even when it seems like a woman's got power over a man anyway, it would never actually really be genuine, right? But there's going to be a whole lot of women turning back, man. A whole lot of women that are going to be like, well, they're saying that they've got this charagma thing, right? And you're saying it's this and all of that, but I don't believe that. I think it's just a technology that they're using to give to people, that they're giving to people for security purposes, because all the stuff going on in the world right now, it's hard to tell who's a good person and who's not a good person now. So it makes sense why they're doing that. That's what some of these women are going to be saying, and men. They're going to believe the justification that Esau is going to put out there as to why they need this. And they're going to see all the things that it's able to do with it. They're going to see all the miracles that he's able to do with it. And they're going to be like, well, these things are righteous. So what's your problem? Right? Revelation chapter 13 and verse 13. And he doeth great wonders, so that he make a fire come down from heaven on earth in the sight of men, and deceiveth many that dwell on the earth by means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image to the beast, which had the wound by the sword and did live. So they're trying to rebuild back an ancient time that was fallen, man, and they're trying to reshape the world in their image. And part of the way they're doing that is with AI, right? Them AI art generators and that. I've been using some of them and seeing what kind of things can be made with that, to see if I can find things to show a physical image of some of the things that we expect to see when all hell breaks loose, man. And I've seen some of the images that other brothers have made, man, right? And those things show exactly, well, not exactly, but they show a good image of what we expect to see when all hell breaks loose, man. They're good examples of some of the things that we're expecting to see when it goes down out here. But some of these other we before we even had that, we had images in our mind anyway, and things that we perceived in our mind, and whatever we expect to see, whatever we think in our mind, or whatever we see pictures of our artwork, right, or whatever we've seen in movies, that don't compare to what's really gonna happen. Right? That don't compare to what's really gonna happen, man. What's really gonna happen is way worse than that. And because the future is gonna seem unsure in many people's eyes, they're gonna be looking to the past, and they're gonna be looking back, and they're gonna take the charagma, a lot of them, man. Verse 15, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. So Esau's gonna be given the power to try and take people out that don't want to believe in what he believes in, because there's going to be some people as well that don't necessarily even believe in the Lord, but they don't believe completely in everything that Esau's talking about as well, man. Right? They don't believe completely in everything that Esau's talking about, so they're going to refuse at least one of the things in terms of Esau society, man. And one of the main things that I think some of them might refuse will be the charagma, but because they don't believe in the Lord anyway, well, Esau will just take them out. But that they're also not of the elect, because they didn't refuse to take the charagma because they believe in the Lord. They might have refused to take the charagma because they think, well, I don't want you watching my business. And even a lot of those people, they're going to be shown to be weak, and they are going to take it, man. They are going to bow down in some way, shape, or form, and they believe in Esau's system in some way, shape, or form, and they might believe in the way that you make money over here that is righteous. So the stock market, where they can just change things and they can do insider trading and all these different kind of things, and they know what particular number a stock's going to drop down to, and they also know what number it's going to rise to roughly. They can somewhat predict because they own more shares than the general population. They can shape those things. So unless you're in the know, you're going to lose money potentially. That's what they can do. They know they've got the cryptocurrency things, and they know that they can raise the price of that, deflate the price, inflate the price, raise it again, lower it again, and they know what it's going to go to. And then they could just keep dropping it loads so that people sell it because they're scared that they're going to lose out on money. Then they can buy theirs and then raise it back up again, and then they can do the same thing again until they own all the wealth. And then on top of that, for those people that don't escape out of that, they've got CBDC, where they can put a duration on the money, so the money runs out. They can code the money so that the money runs out, or code the money so that you can only use it to buy lemons if they wanted to. You're only allowed to buy lemons. You're on a citrus diet, or you're not allowed to buy chicken, or you're not allowed to buy meat. You have to go vegan. You ain't allowed to buy candy no more because you're overweight. You ain't allowed to buy cigarettes. You ain't allowed to buy alcohol. They're going to be able to do that with this money, man. And there's several brothers. There's a brother over here in the UK that does it, Bukayak one. And there's an elder over in America, man, in the GMS Dallas, I believe, camp. That they both go into those things, man. They've taught other men how some of these things work, man. That's where I've learned a lot of the knowledge that I have on some of those things, and then I've did some of my own research into it as well. But I heard about it through those videos, right? Verse 16, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, to receive, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a charagma in their right hand or in their foreheads. Now, the reason why I said charagma instead of MARK is because when you say some of these words, the videos get taken down, and now that never used to be the case. You used to be able to speak about these things openly, but because more and more things are coming now where that's being pushed on the earth and you can see the evidence of it, now they're scared to let people talk about it freely. And with what the owner of Tesla has recently did with the trial, where people have been given that technology, right, for first human trial, we're seeing what's going down now. People can't deny it no more. They can't say, oh, now you're making it up. Whereas in times past, they could say that, man. And I heard about this sea hip thing, at least now, probably going back like damn near almost like 17 years ago, man. About 17 years ago when I first heard about that, I heard about it from from an Israelite man, like on the back of a bus going into the Birmingham city centre. And he was proper scared when he was telling me and that, and he was talking to me about it, saying, "Oh, this there's this thing called the MOTB, man." But he never said it like that. He said it the actual way it says in the scriptures. He was talking about it, man. And when I heard it, I got goosebumps on my arm. But now you can see that thing exists clearly. There ain't no more denying it, man. It's just some people don't believe it will be mandatory. They're like, nah, they'll never do that. But they obviously forgot what was happening in 2019 to 2022 heavy. They obviously forgot about that because people have got a short-term memory, man. Verse 17, and that no man might buy or sell save he, so apart from he, that had the charagma or the name of the beast or the number of his name. So there's going to come a time where if you ain't bowing down to this, well then you ain't going to be getting basic access to necessities, man. To be able to buy and sell things, if you've got the money, is a basic necessity. That's basic. That's never been a thing really where it's a problem, right? If you've got the actual currency, normally people will just allow it, man. Even if you was to go into a corner shop and something cost £1 and you give the shopkeeper 100 one pence coins, right? For those that live in the UK, they normally wouldn't even care. They'd be like, well, it's money anyway, I'll take it. Some of them might try and go on like they're above that, but some of them would still take the money because it's legal tender, right? But there's going to come a time where the previous legal tender of cash is going to be rejected right in front of people's face, man. And initially they might start just throwing down the money and running out with the foods, right? But then the shopkeeper's going to have to chase them down, because even if they was to take that to the bank, that might be rejected because people ain't accepting that no more. So they're going to consider that actually really stealing. It's going to get like that, man. It's going to get like that. And let me get this. Revelation chapter 14 and verse 9. And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image and receive his charagma in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of Yahweh, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. So Yahweh Shai is going to watch you burning in the lake of fire. The angels are going to watch you burning in the lake of fire. Right? They're going to have that heavenly view. After Yahweh Shai came and did his destruction on this earth, they're going to have their heavenly view of the destruction, man. That's what's going to be happening. That's what's going to happen, man. But people they don't perceive that, man. They think in their mind, well, nah. They think, nah, that's not going to happen, because they've become so used to this world. And there's going to be a whole lot of Lot's wives looking back, man. There's going to be a whole lot of surprises of women that men thought were righteous, but they actually was no different than these other women, man. And that's why they was always getting into friction with their woman, because their woman was desiring the Instagram lifestyle, was desiring the Love Island lifestyle, was desiring the lifestyle that she sees on TV, right? Most of these women, if you was to ask them, man, I really think it would be a good thing for them to be asked when they try and come up scoffing and all that. When women trying to make it like they're so deep, when they try and get on comment boards talking smack and all that. What are you expecting to see in the kingdom of heaven? What do you think the kingdom of heaven is going to be like? What are you expecting to see? Because really, a lot of them that talk all this smack and be reading the scriptures and all that and trying to usurp authority over men, they don't even know. They ain't even really thought about what the kingdom of heaven is like. If they really actually understood what the kingdom of heaven was like, they'd just be still trying to live here. They'd just be open about how they don't want to even be down with the scriptures, because they desire to have power over men. And that's not going to be a thing that's going to happen in the kingdom of heaven. In the kingdom of heaven, men are going to have the power. Yet even with men having the power, women are going to be happier. Whereas in this world, women have got so much happiness. I mean, so much supposed happiness or so much power. Yet they're miserable all the time, man. They're bugged out. They don't know what the hell is going on, man. They don't have a clue. They really don't have a clue as to what's going on, man. They're bugged out, bro. And because they're bugged out and they don't want to accept that it's their fault why they're bugged out, they try and blame men all the time. But the reason why the earth's even like this in the first place is because of a lot of the things that they asked for. They asked for all this power that they think that they have. But now they've got it, they're miserable. Isn't that interesting? Isn't that interesting, man? There's going to be a lot of people that are going to be doing what Lot's wife did, man, and looking back when all hell breaks loose, man. They're going to be trying to lament for the teats, for the present fields, for the fruit of mine. They're going to be longing back for these times, man. They're going to be longing back when they could just go to a McDonald's, which we don't eat McDonald's anyway, but they're going to be longing back for when they could go to a McDonald's drive-thru, or can I have a Big Mac and a Mac chicken sandwich and a 12-piece nugget. They're going to be longing back for that. And I want a McFlurry as well, and a McFlurry too. You know what I mean? And a milkshake. And let me get the kids a Happy Meal. They're gonna be longing back for when they used to be able to do that kind of stuff, or when they could go on Uber Eats, and then be questioning based on how long the delivery driver takes, whether they're gonna give him a tip or not, or questioning whether if he had enough attitude, did he treat me good enough customer service? Okay, I'll leave him a tip then, or I'm not gonna leave him a tip anyway. They're gonna be remembering those time when they could do that, man. When they could just wear some clothes and a fragrance, go to nightclubs and get in for free and get drinks bought for them, man. They're gonna be reminiscing on those times when they just got in free everywhere. 1 John chapter 2, and men are gonna be longing for times like that too, when they was able to just do things as well, man. When their money was able to bribe them through situations, when people got intimidated by them because they're big of stature. But the time's gonna come where people are gonna try even you guys, man, that think that you're big. People are gonna be like, come on then. This is the last tin of beans, you know? Let's fight then. You think I'm gonna let you, mate, if you get this last tin of beans anyway, I'm dead anyway. So I'm fighting you for it. But I'm not gonna be using the moves you think. We ain't gonna be boxing. I'm gonna use everything under the sun, apart from the legal moves, to try and get this food. That's the kind of things that's gonna be happening to even you tough guys, man. People that want to punch people up and lock them in rooms and all kind of madness that people are talking about. When if you are talking that kind of way about a person that also, according to what you say, believe in the Lord as well, right? That you say you believe in the Lord as well. Well, that's a heavy demon to have on you for you to be talking about somebody like that you've never met before. You've probably never been in the same country as them at the same time before. Probably never even been in the same city before, if you have been in the same country. Probably never been in the same room as them before, but you got that much anger towards them. And it's not like it's an Edomite that you're talking about. It's a fellow Israelite that you're saying all this stuff about. That before you said anything about them, probably didn't even know who you was like that. Like that's a heavy, that's really a potentially an ancient, going back through reincarnations, hatred, man. For somebody to want to do that to somebody. But anyway, that's a whole nother thing, man. 1 John chapter 2 and verse 15, love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him, and any woman too. Anyone designed to look back, I'm going to need a charogma. They're going to be women are going to be looking at their men with disgust, because they're going to like, man, you ain't no real man. You can't protect me in these times. And men are going to have to decide whether they want to deal with women shaming tactics, or whether they're going to be like, man, fuck you then. How about that? Because that's going to come. When all hell breaks loose and women are hungry, they're going to just be standing there looking at men like, oh, you ain't no real man then, because you can't feed me. But these people over there, they've got this charogma thing and they're fed. So I'm going over there. And if you was a real man, you would come over too. Well, I guess I ain't a real man then. That's what men are gonna have to think, and that's what men of the elect are gonna be like. They'll be like, okay, I guess I've lost that woman. She wasn't my woman really anyway. She was my woman during before the apocalyptic times came. But now that the apocalyptic times are here, now I guess there must be some other woman out there for me that's gonna be my women that are gonna come to me and be my wives in the kingdom then. My first batch of wives in it. Or my first wife in the kingdom. That's how it's gonna get, man. There's gonna be a whole lot of women looking back, man. These women are enchanted of Disney from what they watched when they were still a child, man. They're enchanted of Love Island, Jodie Shore, twerk videos that Eve be putting out, music, all kind of madness. They're enchanted by that, and they're bugged out. Verse 16, for all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh and the lust of the eyes and the pride of life is not of the Father, but is of the world. And these are going to be the things that are going to persuade people to look back, because they're going to be thinking in their mind, well, the quickest route to us going back to those times is this charagma. And even though it's not going to be exactly like what we're going back, what we wanted to go back to, it's going to be closer to that. It's going to be closer to something that I understand than something that I don't understand. And Easter is going to potentially, more than likely, leave people lingering out with the world in complete chaos where everyone can do whatever they want to do before he even brings that in, man, because he's going to try and come like he's the savior when bringing that charagma. He's going to try and come like he's a help, actually genuinely helping people, man, but really it's a deception. Verse 18, in fact, verse 17, and the world passeth away, and the lust thereof, but he that doeth the will of Yahweh abideth forever. And how many different societies have there been that had their own particular way of being before? How many different ways have there been? How many different styles of dress? You know what I mean? How many different clothing brands have came and gone as being a hot brand? And then always another one rises up, man. How many different ways? Oh, how many different ways can you wear your cap? There used to be a thing over here in Birmingham, and it was probably over in other cities as well, where people used to wear one glove like Michael Jackson, man, and that was the fogged out way of dressing. And then depending on which hand they got the glove on, if they be wearing golf gloves, golf master gloves, man, they be wearing a golf glove on one hand. You know what I mean? Wearing one glove on one hand, man. But then there used to be time where people wore Prada, Gucci hats and all that, and Gucci belts, Prada belts. You know what I mean? But then that style ended up going. There used to be a time when the cats in New York City were wearing the white t-shirt, white vests, and the jeans and the Timberlands. But then now, other guys from New York that are young, the younger generation of them, they ain't dressing like that. You got people with flipping rainbow hair coming out of these same places where people used to dress that way, with rainbow hair and tight trousers with big trainers on. Like one of the elders, I've heard one of the elders say before, man, skinny jeans and big shoes. And they all got these mop, like Apostle Ricard says, man, they got mop heads. They all got this same dreadlocks hairstyle, this miniature dreads, man, hairstyle, man. That even the LGB free women, even they be wearing that hairstyle, man. The ones that are into women and that, they be wearing that same hairstyle as what these drill motherfuckers wear. Which shows that it's not a way that anyone should be having their hair. If they copying it. And if that's what they use to try and blend in, to try and think that they're a man. Verse 18, little children, it is the last time, and have you heard that Antichrist shall come? Even now there are many anti-Mashiachs, whereby we know that it is the last time, and there's many people that are against the Lord, man. They don't really believe in the Lord, man. They don't really desire the new covenant, man. There's a lot of people that they don't even know what the new covenant is. Hebrews 8 and 10. Do these people really even know what the new covenant is? Do they actually even know what it is? Do they really desire that? Do women desire to really be under the new covenant? Do women really desire to be living in a society where men can have multiple wives and they're only allowed to have one husband? Do these women in this society right now that think the way that they think right now, think that men having multiple wives is a better alternative than a man only having one wife and being miserable with that one wife? Do women really think that a man having multiple wives is a better alternative? Or do they think that that's a flaw in the scriptures? What do they really think? Is there any woman out here that says that she believes in the scriptures, that she really believes that a man having multiple wives is a good thing? And that's not even a thing where men are just so gassed up to have multiple wives, right? But it's an easy thing to go to show that women are not really about the scriptures like they say they are. It's an easy thing to go to, man. All these women that say that they're about the scriptures, all you have to show to them, and I suffer not a woman to teach, well, who wrote that in there? Who put that in there? That was men. But then, okay, who put the book of Genesis in there? Who put the book of Exodus in there? Who put the book of Judges in there? Who put all the books that you're going to read from in there? Even the ones that contain information about women. Who put them in there? Was that men? And that's how you'll expose that these people don't really believe in the scriptures like they say they do. They don't really believe in the scriptures like they say they do, man. And that's why it's a beautiful thing if at the least you've never scoffed the doctrine, man. That means that you've still got a chance at least, man, if you've just never scoffed. You just never cursed out this doctrine. That's a beautiful thing that you can hold up as a thing in the air to say that about yourself at least, man. If you're a person that's just never scoffed, because Yahweh might give you mercy in a latter time, man, because you never scoffed. But there's several people out there that they've scoffed, man. They've cursed out the Bible and said a whole bunch of madness. They've tried to make out like their belief system was better than the scriptures, but really, they didn't have an actual belief system. They didn't actually have anything that they had as a system of belief. They didn't have an alternative to the scriptures. They just wanted to really say that they don't believe what the scriptures are talking about, man. And that's why there's going to be a whole lot of people that are going to turn back, man, and try and come with their own way of thinking. And they're going to perish, man. Proverbs chapter 14 and verse 12, there is a way which seemeth right unto a man, but the end thereof are the ways of death. There's going to be many people that they thought that their way was better than the way of the scriptures, but at the end of it, they're going to find out that nah, it weren't, man. Proverbs chapter 28 and verse 4, they that forsake the law praise the wicked, but such as keep the law contend with them. Now, I ain't going to be trying to make it like I'm keeping all of the laws, man, because that would be a lie, right? But I would want to keep all of the laws if I knew I could. And that's why I desire to be under the new covenant, because then it's not a conscious thing that I'm going to have to think about doing the laws. I'm just going to naturally do it. Just like how I naturally breathe, just like how I can walk, just like how my lungs do what they're supposed to do, the heart does what it's supposed to do, you know, the kidneys, the liver, all the organs naturally do what they're supposed to do. Israelites are going to naturally keep the law. And that's why we desire to be under the new covenant, man. That's why you only hear Hebrew Israelites go into Hebrews the 8th chapter, go into Jeremiah the 31st chapter and speak about it truthfully and honestly. You'll hear Christians go into that. But then when it comes to the laws part, they'll try and say that the laws are talking about the Messiah's laws, Yahweh Shai's laws. But they won't say Yahweh Shai. They'll say the word that begins with a J. And then they'll say where it says the house of Judah and the house of Israel, they'll say, oh, that's spiritually the house. That's what they'll say, because they're liars, man. And they're another group of people that are going to be looking back. And they really love now. They love this society, man. And that's why in their churches, they bring in everything that's against the scriptures into them, man. Hebrews chapter 8 and verse 8, for finding fault with them, he saith, behold, the days come, saith Yahweh, when I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah. Not everyone. The new covenant is not with everyone. It's with the Israelites only. Verse 9, not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers in the day when I took them by the hand to lead them out of the land of Egypt, because they continued not in my covenant and I regarded them not, saith Yahweh. But this shall be, for this is the covenant that I'll make with the house of Israel after those days, saith Yahweh. I'll put my laws into their mind and write them in their hearts, and I will be to them a power, and they shall be to me a people. And they shall not cheat every man his neighbor, and every man his brother, saying, know Yahweh, for all shall know me from the least to the greatest. So when it goes down, man, how many people are going to be expecting that this is the end of all of that? How many people that say that they're about the law really desire that? How many of these women really desire for their minds to be made to where they accept Men having multiple wives, and again, that's not even a thing that men are too gassed up around right now, because women get on men's nerves right now. So we wouldn't even want these women of this society as multiple wives of these women. We wouldn't want multiple wives from these women. But it's an easy thing that you can go to that quickly shows that women that try and talk like there's so much about the scriptures ain't really about it, man. They ain't about it as they say they are, man. Because they'd lose a lot of the power that they think that they have in this world right now. A lot of the things that they take advantage of, they wouldn't be able to take advantage of if we was under the new covenant. So that would prove that they're not about it as they say they are, man. Verse 12, for I will be merciful to their unrighteousness, and their sins and their iniquities will I remember no more, which proves that Yahweh hasn't cast away the Israelites like Christianity tries to teach people, man. They're lying about that. The Israelites are not cast away. They're the only people that are going to receive. How can you be cast away when you're the vessels of mercy? That's a question that you could ask that should be asked to these Christians that they wouldn't answer. If you put this question to Volkan Malone, how can the Israelites be cast away when in the vessels of mercy? He'd say something along the lines of, well, they're not all the vessels. The vessels of mercy are anyone that's a true believer in the Messiah. He'd say something stupid like that, man. But that guy's already been exposed anyway. He's already been exposed for whose side he's on, right? And he's not even really on the side of who he claims in that Christianity stuff. He's on the side of the J-wish people, those people that are somehow able to climb out of the sewers with a hat that's bigger than the hole that they're climbing out of, and still keep the hat on their head firm, showing that they've climbed out of that same hole in the ground on several occasions, man. Anyone climbing out the sewers, but claiming they're the chosen, when they're living in their society, they ain't right, man. You should be able to do whatever you want to do openly, right? If you're the chosen and you're just living in your peace, you should be able to do it openly. You shouldn't have to be making no underground shit. Anything you want to do, you should be able to just do it standing straight up, man. This is what I'm going to do. What are you going to do about it? We ain't going to need nothing under the sewers in our kingdom. There won't be nothing under the sewers. You know what I mean? The only thing that's going to be under the sewers is plumbing. We ain't going to be hiding it under the sewers, man. We're going to stand and be firm and bold in everything that we do in the kingdom, man. We ain't going to have a need to do things in the sewers. But you know what? Let me end the video there, man. I'm just going to say, like, there's going to be many people that are going to do exactly what Lot's wife did, man, and turn back. They're going to turn back and desire this world that we're living in right now, man, instead of thinking about the beginning of the new world. Shalom to the elect of the nation of Israel. All praises to Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Shalom to the elect of the nation of Israel.